Hello students, in today's lecture video we shall discuss about different methods of painting. So students, as you know, paint is a liquid surface coating and on drying it forms a thin film on the painted surface. The paints are classified as oil paints, water paints, cement paints, bituminous paints and special paints such as fireproof paints, luminous paints, chlorinated rubber paints, etc. And the paintings are the coating of fluid materials. The main functions of paints are to protect the coated surface against possible stresses, mechanical or chemical. And it also protects the coated surface from deterioration, whether it is physical or environmental. And paints are used to decorate the surface by giving smooth and colorful finish. Paints check the penetration of water through RCC. And paints check the formation of bacteria and fungus, which are unhygienic and give ugly look to the walls. They check corrosion of metal structures. Paints check the decay of woodwork and to varnish the surface to display it to better advantage. Now we shall discuss about painting of various surfaces. For new plaster surface, we can do the painting work in two steps. First one is the surface preparation and second one is the sequence of painting. So, in the case of surface preparation, before applying the paint, it is ensured that the surface is free from dust, dirt and loose matter, grease, etc. And after that, it is rubbed with an emery paper to provide a mechanical key between the surface and paint for satisfactory adhesion. Then in the second step, that is the sequence of painting, here the primer or first coat is applied with brush or spray on the prepared surface, and it should be thinned with water or thinner in the recommended manner and proportion before application. And after drying, it is rubbed with emery paper. Dents and cracks, if any, are filled with putty using a knife applicator. And the putty should not be applied thick. If the required thickness is large, then it should be applied in 2 coats. After the putty has dried, the whole surface is rubbed down well in order to smoothen the putty and provide a mechanical key to the finished coats. 2 or 3 finished coats are applied. Each coat is allowed to dry before the application of the next coat. So in this manner, you can apply paints on a new plaster surface. In case of old plaster surface, the procedure depends upon the state of existing coating. And if the existing coating has got defects, then it is removed and the surface is painted as a new surface. Then next we shall discuss about painting a new woodwork. So painting of woodwork should be done with great care and normally 3 to 4 coats are sufficient for woodwork. Surface preparation. The wood should be well seasoned, dried, cleaned and the surface made smooth with an emery paper, and nails, if any, should be driven down the surface by at least 3 mm. Knotting. Knots in the wood create a lot of problems. So these excrete resin which causes defects such as cracking, peeling and brown discoloration. Knotting is done so that resin cannot exude from the knots, and any of the following methods may be used suitably. First one is ordinary knotting. This is also known as size knotting. The knot is treated with a coat of hot red lead ground with a strong glue size in water. Then a coat of red lead ground in boiled linseed oil is applied. Lime knotting. The knot is covered with hot lime for 24 hours, after which it is scraped off, and thereafter the process described in ordinary knotting is followed. Parrot knotting. Here 2 coats of varnish or shellac are applied. Priming coat. The main function of priming coat or primer is to form the base for subsequent ones. After knotting, priming coat is applied over the entire surface to fill all the pores. A second priming coat is applied after the first has dried. In general, the ingredients are same as those of the subsequent coats, but with a difference in proportion. Then the next step is stopping. After priming coat, putty is applied to fill the pores of the surface, and then it is rubbed smooth. Coloring pigment is also added to it, match the shade of the finished coat. On drying, the selected paint is applied with brushes to bring smoothness and uniformity in color. After painting the surface in one direction, the brush is worked in the perpendicular direction to eliminate brush marks. This is known as crossing. All the successive coats are applied after drying and slight rubbing the previous coats for proper bond. Painting of old woodwork. The old paint is removed with a sharp glass piece, sandpaper, or paint remover, or with a blow lamp. Any smoky or greasy substance should be washed with lime and subsequently rubbed with pumice stone. The surface is then washed with soap and water and dried completely. Then 2 coats of paints are applied in a way similar to that described in painting new surfaces. Next, we shall discuss about painting metal surfaces. For new ironwork, the surface should be free from scales, rust, and grease. Scales and rust are cleaned by hardware press. Grease is removed by using petroleum or by hot alkaline solution of sodium carbonate or sodium hydroxide, benzene, and lime water. A priming coat of red lead with barytes and raw linseed oil is then applied over the prepared surface. After drying of the priming coat, 1 or more undercoats with desired paint are applied. The second coat is given only after the first coat has dried. The finishing coat is applied carefully to produce a smooth fine surface. For painting old ironwork, the surface is prepared by scraping properly all the scales and rust with emery paper. The greasy substance are removed with lime water, and the old paint may be burnt with a blow lamp or by suitable solvents. After this, the surface is brushed with hot linseed oil and painted as for a new ironwork. So with this, we have discussed all the methods of painting. Thank you, students.